He unlocked the door and let Perugia out with the Mona Lisa wrapped in a sheet under his arm. In August 1911, the Louvre was a different sort of place. It was secured only through locks in the outside doors. There were about 200 security guards, but over 400 rooms. And it was stolen on a day when it was closed to the public by someone who had been contracted by the Louvre to make and build protective glass frames to secure certain famous artworks, because the Louvre administration was afraid they might be attacked by anarchists trying to get attention for themselves. And so the man who stole it is called Vincenzo Perugia. He was an Italian handyman, mandolin enthusiast, amateur painter from outside of Milan, and he had moved to Paris to try to become an artist, because this was the center of the art world. But he couldn't make it as an artist, so he earned money as a handyman. And he was working for the firm that was hired by the Louvre. And he saw this as a crime of opportunity. And what was the opportunity? He was convinced that the Mona Lisa had been looted from Italy by Napoleon. Now, that was a pretty good guess, because Napoleon had looted tens of thousands of cultural heritage objects from Italy, many of which were in the Louvre and some of which are still there today. But the Mona Lisa was not among them. He didn't know that, however. So he had this idea: I have a Louvre worker's uniform, I have access, I'm going to steal this painting, and there's some thought he may have tried to perhaps think about someone he could sell it to privately, but he quickly realized that wasn't feasible, and he decided he was going to repatriate it and become a national Italian hero. So he did this by hiding in a janitor's closet overnight until a Monday morning when the Louvre was closed, and he snuck out when he heard the footfalls of the guards disappear down the hallway, and he went over to the Salon Carré where the Mona Lisa was hanging, and he lifted the heavy, ornate Baroque gilded frame which contained it off the wall, which was not original, and he carried it to a service stairwell. And there he removed the panel from the frame and discarded the frame. He wraps the panel in a white sheet, puts it under his arm, heads down the service stairwell and tries to leave. But when he gets down to the bottom of the staircase, he reaches his hand out, grabs the doorknob, twists, and it's locked. So now he's locked in with the world's most famous painting, and then he hears footfalls coming down the stairs towards him. So who was coming down the stairs? Turned out, lucky for him, it was a night custodian who was cleaning up the place, and apparently it was not so unusual for a Louvre worker to be locked in overnight. And we don't have a good record of the reaction of the custodian, but he unlocked the door and let Perugia out with the Mona Lisa wrapped in a sheet under his arm. And this launched a 2-year investigation.